The world of Nier Replicant breathes in a quiet, agonizing twilight. It is a landscape defined by an eerie harmony. Lush, green fields, rolling hills, and rustic stone villages nestled against the towering, rusted skeletons of a forgotten modern age. This is an apocalypse that does not scream. It whispers through the rustling grass and the melancholic melodies that drift across the plains. There is a profound sense of wonder in this ruin, a realization that nature has reclaimed a world humanity lost long ago. Yet, beneath the beauty lies an oppressive, lingering dread. Terminal sickness, known as the Black Scrawl, stains the skin of the living with dark, geometric runes, slowly claiming the few remaining settlements clinging to existence. At the epicenter of this fragile world is a young man driven by a singular, burning conviction. Nier's entire existence is anchored by a fierce, protective love for his frail, younger sister, Yona, who is slowly succumbing to the Scrawl. His devotion is absolute, a beacon of courage illuminating the surrounding decay. To save her, he is willing to bleed, to hunt, and to bargain with forces beyond his comprehension. He does not walk this path alone. His journey draws a small fellowship of tragic outcasts, each bearing a heavy cross. There is Grimoire Weiss, an ancient, floating book possessing an arrogant wit and a reservoir of magical power. There is Kaine, a fierce warrior clad in bandages, vulgar and lethal, fighting a constant internal battle against her own inner demons. And there is Emil, a boy of pure, gentle innocence, whose eyes possess a tragic curse, turning any living thing he looks upon to stone. Together, they form a makeshift family, born of shared isolation, braving a hostile world to find the sealed verses, magical fragments they believe can cure the Black Scrawl and secure a peaceful future. Their primary obstacle are the Shades, dark, ethereal entities that manifest from the shadows. These creatures are formless, weeping, and violent, attacking human settlements with an inexplicable, feral malice. To Nier and his companions, the conflict is clear, uncomplicated, and binary. They are human, the righteous protectors of the final embers of life. The Shades are monsters, anomalies that must be eradicated. Guided by the gentle, maternal oversight of the village's twin leaders, Devila and Popola, Nier spends years aging, hardening, and transforming from a desperate boy into a ruthless, battle-scarred weapon of vengeance. He fights with total certainty, believing every shade slain is a step closer to a restored world. The climax of Nier's crusade brings him to the heart of the Shadow Lord's castle, the epicenter of the Shade threat. He stands on the precipice of victory, ready to reclaim his sister and end the nightmare forever. It is here that the architecture of his entire reality shatters. The tragic truth is unveiled, not by an enemy, but by Devila and Popola, who reveal themselves to be ancient, immortal androids, engineered millennia ago to oversee a grand design called Project Gestalt. The humanity Nier believed he was protecting was an illusion. 1,000 years prior, a catastrophic magical plague threatened to wipe out human existence. To survive, humanity used advanced technology to separate their souls from their physical bodies, planning to reunite them once the disease died out. The souls became gestalts. The physical bodies, cloned from the originals to serve as vessels, became replicants. Nier, his sister, and every inhabitant of his village are not human. They are replicants, soulless, artificial shells that unexpectedly developed their own consciousness, their own cultures, and their own independent spark of life over the centuries, and the monstrous shades that Nier spent his entire life slaughtering with righteous fury, they are the gestalts. They are the actual, original humans, fading, losing their minds, and destabilizing without their physical bodies. These disembodied souls were merely trying to return home, to reclaim the flesh that belonged to them. The horror of Nier Replicant is a tragedy born of perfect, absolute ignorance. Two fractured halves of the same species, completely blind to each other's nature, locked eyes in a war of mutual survival. Nier's ultimate triumph is, in truth, the ultimate catastrophe. Driven by a love that became a blinding curse, he slays the Shadow Lord, the prime gestalt, keeping the human souls stable. In doing so, Nier dooms the replicants to a slow extinction from the Black Scrawl, while ensuring the remaining human souls will inevitably decay into madness. The courage, the wonder, and the desperate love that fueled the entire journey ultimately serve as the iron teeth of a trap, extinguishing the final, genuine spark of humanity from the universe. To look upon the wreckage of Nier Replicant is to realize that tragedy does not require a villain. It only requires two desperate entities fighting for the right to exist. We weep for Nier, whose horrific crusade is fueled by a love so pure it becomes a blinding sickness. But we must equally weep for the Shades. They are not mindless abominations. They are cold, terrified ghosts, shivering in the dark, watching artificial constructs inherit their homes, their names, and their fields. The conflict is a cosmic cruelty. If Nier stops, his sister dies. If the Shades stop, the human race vanishes forever. It is an intersection of two absolute rights, creating an absolute wrong. This is the grim tax of mind transference. When a species stares into the abyss of total extinction, it invariably tries to build a bridge out of its own identity. We see this desperate gamble echo across worlds and timelines, always born from a frantic, cornered choice to outrun the grave. I first played Nier back in 2010. I was walking around Walmart looking for a new game for my PS3, and I saw the cover. It captivated me. And when I plugged it in, I recognized the same themes and feeling of Kingdom Hearts, but magnified to an adult scale. At first, the story can seem very convoluted and confusing, and by the time you think you finally have a grasp on it, the game offers you another playthrough for the true story, in which you learn the terrible, desperate truth that the Shades were intelligent all along. It even gives you subtitles to see what they were saying, really hammering in that you were the monster all along. This is what really drew me to Nier for all these years. The music was incredible, the designs flawless, and the characters relatable, and I bonded with them over the hours of playing. But it was this twist. It was this hidden dimension, this dynamic that existed the entire time, only revealed if you persevered enough to find it. 16 years later, and I still cannot stop thinking about this game. Thank you so much, Yoko Taro, for your incredible, goofy madness. If you enjoy the video and you've watched this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And go play Nier. It's incredible.